Hi, everybody. I'm Cliff, and this is Life with MS. There is a heat wave starting here in North Carolina. It's getting ludicrously hot, and that part sucks. I'm going to share with you a secret that probably isn't a secret, but it was a secret to me until about 5 days ago that I found to be extremely helpful. Now, what I'm wearing is some really dorky cycling gear because, well, I'm a cyclist. And one thing I love about cycling, other than just the sport of cycling and the community, is the totally awesome um jerseys and stuff like that. Not because of their design and because they're skin tight. Well, there's some drawbacks to that one. Um, but because they're usually made of moisture wicking material, like this little thing I have here on my head really does a great job of converting the sweat into evaporative cooling and basically cools my head off a lot. Same thing with my chest and my pants, everything. I have little sleeves that go on, which I'm not wearing right now. But the cooling technology, because the air is moving over you, is really cool. I mean, it's really cool. It's a simple thing. However, I'm not going to wear a cycling jersey to bed. And I'm not, well, she might be into that. I'll have to ask her about that one, but probably not. They tend to get a little smelly. And I'm probably not going to wear this to bed. She could be into that too. So maybe that's something. I don't know. But hmm, yeah, it could be something. Anyway, my guess is probably I'm going to get a big no on that one because, yeah, anyway, I digress. So, what other options do we have to wear to keep us cool in these insanely hot summer days, living with multiple sclerosis or other chronic conditions like lupus or other things, even Hashimoto's disease? Those people have heat sensitivity as well. So, there's all kinds of diseases and chronic conditions like multiple sclerosis where heat is just a problem. And being inside all summer absolutely sucks. I'm actually going just a little bit crazy. But the big part of going crazy, at least right now, up until about a week ago, was not being able to sleep because even with the air conditioning on here, it was just too dang hot, And I like to have a decent cover over me, and when I get too hot, my legs kick in spasms. I've told you about this before. And if you have not heard this before, make sure you click that subscribe, like, and share, and comment below if you don't mind, because I think you want to be part of this community. If you're not, there are some super, super funny people, and we're all living with this disease, and we all have a lot of knowledge. So you're missing out if you're not part of the community. Subscribe, you could do this. Okay, now I'm going to share with you the secret that I found. But hold on. Because, wait a minute, wait for it. If you haven't seen a cooling vest before and you're new to multiple sclerosis, these things are super dorky, but they are super functional. Look at this. You put it on. I'm going to put it on right now for you. All right, here we go. Fashion show, fashion show. Oh man, this is so cool. Quite literally. It's full of ice packs. I keep it in the freezer outside. Look at that. Can you imagine walking down the street with this? Everybody's like, what in the heck? I get different looks based on the different type of vest I'm wearing. Now, this one lasts me about an hour on hot days, and then it starts getting too warm. It's got all these ice packs in it, and they're not water, they're like this gel kind of thing, and they're okay. This one's okay. Now, the one the one that's really effective for super hot weather is this one. And unfortunately, because of recent events within the last decade, wearing it out in public is quite suspicious. You put it on like a SWAT vest, all the dogs bark in the background. The kid comes in and interrupts in the video. That's going to happen here in a second. He's going to ask what I'm doing. And you're walking down the street like this. La, da, da, da. Look at that. Now, I don't know about you, but looks a little suspicious. However, this thing has crazy thick, awesome ice packs, and they work really, really well. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is quite dorky. Hey, Gab, I'm right in the middle of a video. You want to come in and say hi? Come on in and say hi. Come on, bud. Come on, come on.
Hello.
Hi. Is it hot out right now?
Not really.
Not too hot?
No.
Okay. I'm going to finish this video I'm recording right now, bud. And this is Amelia. Amelia, come here. Amelia, come here. Come here. Jump up. Jump up. She's upstairs working on a project. All right. Hold on. Hold on. There's Amelia. Okay. She's going to go chase down the kid. Okay. So let's now get to the product I was going to show you. All right. So sleeping and staying cool is a challenge. It has been a challenge forever. Even in the winter, I can get too hot. However, and this is not a paid promotion for this company. I was just looking for answers and I ran across this. This is, and I can't even pronounce the name of the company, something like iGear or something. I don't know. It's made in China. Double sided cooling blanket. And they claim, and I have dog hair in my face, they claim a 2 to 5 Celsius reduction in skin temperature. And I'm thinking, bullcrap, I'm an engineer. Not possible. However, it was really hot the other night. And my legs were spasming like crazy, and my skin temperature was just out of control. I was just so hot. My pillow was hot. It felt like a fever, but I know it's just summer. So I ordered this thing out of pure desperation. And here it is. It's a really thin blanket, and it's made out of like some kind of a nylon polymer, blah, 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 something. They call it a Jade nanoparticles, total bullcrap marketing thing. However, I can tell you, I put this thing on when I was just burning up, and I'm thinking, okay, if it's room temperature, it's going to heat up pretty quickly, and I'm just going to end up being warmer than I was before I started. But this thing wicked away the heat like I can't even explain to you. And within about 30 minutes, it stayed, or at least it felt as cool as it was when I first put it on. And it really did cool me down. And within 45 minutes, I took this thing off and I grabbed my other comforter that I used during the fall and put it on me because I was actually cold. Now, there was a combination of things happening here. The air conditioning was catching up with the cool night air outside. And I believe this was assisting greatly with dissipating my body temperature. So, probably two things happening. However, I could tell you right now that even balled up, this thing is very cool to the touch. And it's extremely comfortable. And I never thought I would be the kind of person, and it's kind of heavy too. I never thought I'd be the kind of person where I could use a thin blanket because I like to like do that, pull it up over my head and all kinds of stuff. But dang, this thing works really well. So I'm going to leave a link to it below at Amazon. Again, this is not a paid promotion. It's just what I found. It may be cheaper other places. There may be other types of it. I'm not really sure. I haven't done too much research on it yet. But like the cycling jerseys and the head thingy, um, it really gets rid of heat nicely. And I find myself even during the day just kind of like draping it over me while I'm working on stuff, and I kind of cool off. So I like it, and I wanted to share it with the community because it's hot. We have MS. We're miserable for the most part, unless we're inside. And even inside, when during a heat wave, it can get way too hot, way too uncomfortable. And aside from taking a cold shower, which is actually not really happening now in North Carolina because even the cold water to me is warm, this seems to help. Now, what could I do additionally? Well, I could wet this down with some water, mist it a little bit. Same thing with this jersey, put a fan on it, and that's going to cool me off real fast. And that's something I could do inside. And while it's kind of weird and kind of humid, it does work. Uh, but at night, when I don't want to have to manage all that stuff and I just want to throw something cool on me, that's nice. Yeah, it's incredible. I'm an engineer nerd, and to think that something this simple could help um, is pretty remarkable. So there you go. I wanted to share that with you today because I know it's probably getting hot where you're at. There is a heat wave going out throughout the United States right now. The summers are getting out of control, and we got to do whatever we can to get sleep. And this is one of the things in my toolkit. The other one is crank the air conditioner down to 67 and pay an insanely high air conditioning bill. Um, that part sucks, but that's part of the disease. Anyway, I hope this helped. Do you have any tips or secrets that you would like to leave below? I know a couple of you have mentioned you drink a lot of ice water. I think that's great, and I've been doing that. However, I end up having to go pee all night long if I do that, so it keeps me awake anyway. So I'm looking for things that don't require any kind of intake and an output, but basically something you can throw on you, wash if you get too sweaty in it, and move on with your life. Comment below and subscribe, like, and share if you don't mind. That way, the other people out in the community see this video and maybe it's going to help them. Again, I'm Cliff. This is Life with MS. And on this very hot Friday, I am out. I will talk to you soon.